For today's headlines, probe ERC grid grift, says Osmena. NGCP violations doubled power rates. Q1 jobless list slides slightly. Rody plan, draw your conclusions, says Palace. Tribune among Rotary's pro-Patria champions. Biden warns Putin over cyberattack from Russia. Eala, Kasintseva, and Madrid bid. Southwest monsoon affecting Northern Luzon. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Friday, June 18, and now the news. The Senate Committee on Energy should look into the possibility of a collusion between the Energy Regulatory Commission and the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines and its cause to the persistent power outages in the country, former Senator Sergio Osmena said on Thursday. Osmena, who previously served as chair of the panel during his stint in the chamber, said it is impossible for the country's electricity concessionaire to continue committing violations if the regulatory body is performing its mandates over the power firm. NGCP, a private consortium mandated to operate and secure power supply reserves or ancillary services, took control of the country's power transmission assets in 2009 for a 25-year agreement. It is under the ERC. Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi earlier pointed out that the failure of NGCP to comply with its mandated obligation is the reason for the thinning power supply in the country. In a Senate inquiry on the spate of power interruptions that affected Luzon last month, the chief said the NGCP had failed to secure enough power reserves necessary to augment supply in case of unforeseen power plant outages, and proposed that the government take back its authority over the country's power grids. Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi said the non-compliance of the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines to provide ancillary services in the power supply distribution caused electricity rates to increase to more than double. During a Senate committee hearing on Thursday, Cusi added that figures are from an estimated of 3 pesos per kilowatt per hour to 7 pesos per kilowatt per hour. In addition, the NGCP is charging customers of about 0.34 pesos per kilowatt per hour for the non-existing firm contracts with AS, in contrast to a mere 0.30 peso if there are actual AS that provide extra energy supply to avert outages. The energy chief hinted at the scheme that could be reeking of criminal touches. He mentioned that it is apparent in the concession contract of the NGCP that it should assure contract reserves. In other news, about 12.2 million Filipinos were jobless during the first quarter of the year, slightly lower than last year's record, as the government gradually eased economic restrictions despite the coronavirus pandemic, according to a social weather station survey. Conducted on April 28 to May 2, the SWS poll showed that 25.8% of the adult labor force remained unemployed, although it was a slight improvement from November's 2020's record of 27.3%, or 12.7 million Filipinos. The latest figure, however, was 8.3% higher compared to the 17.5% lodged in December 2019 before the corona outbreak started in the Philippines. The 12.2 million jobless Filipinos were those who voluntarily left their former jobs, those seeking jobs for the first time, and those who lost their sources of income due to economic circumstances beyond their control. Joblessness decreased in Metro Manila and Balance Luzon, but rose in the Visayas and Mindanao, which have been seeing a surge in coronavirus infections in recent weeks. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Manong Joe po!
At Ate Maita,
Matapos ang magkasunod na buwang pagbaba, bagyang tumaas ang overall electricity rates ng halos 9 centavos per kilowatt hour ngayong buwan. At paalala lang po, maging energy efficient po tayo.
lalo pag mainit. Dahil mas hirap ang appliances at mas makonsumo. Buti may bright ideas tayo na based sa Meralco Power Lab tests. Engineer Alfred?
Alam nyo ba, ang lumang aircon, mas mataas ang konsumo. Up to 682 pesos ang dagdag kada buwan kumpara sa bago. Mas energy efficient kasi ang technology ng bagong aircons. At kung inverter, pwedeng lampas 1,000 pesos ang savings per month. Piliin din yung may horsepower na sakto sa laki ng kwarto. Kung hindi, halos 1,000 ang extra gastos buwan-buwan.
Sundan ang tips na to. And visit our website para
You have the power this summer.
While President Rodrigo Duterte remains undecided on his political plans in the next year's elections, Malacanang left the public to draw conclusions from his remarks that hinted at a possible vice presidential bid. Presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque noted on Thursday that Duterte can decide on whether to pursue the vice presidency until October, the deadline set by the Commission on Elections for the filing of certificates of candidacy. Duterte on Wednesday called it a good idea to run for vice president, saying he still has unfinished business such as building more infrastructure, as well as fighting drugs, corruption, and criminality. In the same speech, however, he hinted at wanting to have a good rest after a grueling work. Duterte added that he won't run if House Majority Leader Martin Romualdez guns for the post, recalling his promise of support to the lawmaker during the intense House speakership race in July 2019. Based on the president's remarks, Roque said the public can conclude that he is still considering running for vice president or that he has decided against it. On Thursday, Daily Tribune, which has come to be known as the People's Paper, acquired another feather in its cap with the 2021 Pro Patria Journalism Awards, which the Rotary Club of Manila gave out to 18 print, broadcast, and radio outfits which distinguished themselves for fair and accurate information. Dean Amado Valdez, former chair of the Social Security Commission and chairman of the 2021 RCM Journalism Awards, said that media has played a pivotal role in the critical juncture when global anxiety is at its highest due to the pandemic. Print, TV, and radio institutions have stood as vanguards of free expression and provided a platform and facilities for constructive criticism of government action to ensure the efficient delivery of services. Rotary Club President Robert Joseph cited the resiliency of the Philippine media in disseminating fair and truthful information, resulting in uninformed and enlightened citizenry in these critical times. Joseph added that love of country is foremost among the awardees and cited their role in promoting public and private sector collaboration in building a strong nation of healthy, peaceful, confident, and dynamic people. Executive Director Chito Lozada gave testimony to the Daily Tribune's being unrelenting during the period of health emergency when the publication never ceased. U.S. President Joe Biden delivered a stern warning to Russian leader Vladimir Putin on Wednesday over ransomware attacks emanating from Russia, saying he was prepared to retaliate against any more cyber assaults on American infrastructure. Speaking after the two leaders' first summit in Geneva, Biden said he laid down the line on Moscow not taking action against hackers who have extorted hundreds of millions of dollars from Western government, companies, and organizations from the safety of Russian soil. The U.S. leader said he delivered to Putin a list of 16 areas of crucial infrastructure like energy and water that are off limits to attack during a red line for Moscow. In a separate press conference following the 3.5 hours of discussions, Putin rejected the allegations and insisted that the United States itself was behind a large number of cyber attacks. But he acknowledged that the issue was extremely important and said the two sides agreed to hold formal consultations on it. We will be back. Stay with us.
Every time I'm on the road, I can expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. Now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
Make long distance easy with the Mirage G4.
Alex Eala and partner Victoria Jimenez Kasintseva of Andorra suffered a sorry loss to bump out of contention in the women's doubles event of the W24 Madrid tournament at the Ciudad Raqueta in Spain late Wednesday. After pulling off a massive upset of second seed duo of American Robin Anderson and Isabella Shikanova of Bulgaria, Eala and Kasintseva crashed back to earth and observed a heartbreaking 5-7, 6-4, 6-10 loss to American Ashley Leahy and Australian Olivia Chandaramulya in the quarterfinals of this professional event that stakes $25,000 prize money. The loss was painful to the 16-year-old Filipino sensation, as this is her second straight setback after bowing to fifth set Andrea Lazaro Garcia of Spain 6-2, 4-6, 4-6 in the first round of the women's single tournament. With this, she has a lot of work to do before marching to her first Wimbledon appearance on June 28. Against the powerhouse duo of Leahy and Chandaramulya, Eala and the 15-year-old Kasintseva had a great start with a 5-7 win in the first set. Eala and Jimenez managed to score a point after the run, but it was too late as the Filipino committed a crucial error that sent them crashing out of the tournament. Southwest monsoon is currently affecting extreme northern Luzon, while ridge of high pressure area affecting the rest of Luzon, according to the Pag-asa. Pag-asa added that Metro Manila and the rest of the country will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Temperature will range from 27.4 degrees Celsius to 34.4 degrees Celsius. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, The Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Torcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store and search for Kachibu Community. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store and Araneta Center. Again, this is Sandy Locos and you are watching Tribune News on Cue. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.